everybody, welcome to Below Dexperts, the sibling duo podcast where we recap current Below Deck seasons and try to be funny while doing it. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Down Under Season 2, episodes 16 and 17. So the way our episodes work is we start with 2 quick fun questions for each other to kind of catch up because we don't watch the episodes together. And then once we get into the episodes, we focus on like 2 to 4 main points throughout usually, unless the episodes are all over the place. But we usually try to focus on 2 to 4 main points to have a little bit of organization. So that being said, what's up?
What up, dog?
How'd you like these episodes?
Yeah, I asked you the other day how they were because I hadn't watched them yet. And you're like, yeah, the first one's like whatever, and the second one is like juicy. And
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, it's kind of how it was too.
Because my notes for the first episode 16 are not super like, they don't fit into like the main categories of the drama.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like random points, and then the second episode is like where it gets
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like a filler episode, but it's. I mean, you can't skip from...
Right.
You can't skip around.
Right.
So they had to do something with it, but...
Yeah. Okay, so you want me to go first this week?
Sure.
Okay. Why do you think that Captain isn't texting Culver back? That Captain, the one he's texting or whatever.
That is a very good question. I don't know why I keep messing with my nose. It's not like it itches or anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I kind of think it's Culver... And this is kind of out there. I think it's Culver.
Conspiracy theory?
A little bit, yeah. I forgot my tinfoil hat. But I think it's Culver being a big baby and like scared like to bring her onto the next boat with him.
Well, okay, so obviously they're showing him texting this captain, and then they're showing the like little bubble, and then it doesn't appear. Like I don't think that's happening. So you don't think he's texting the captain at all?
I don't know. It just, I don't know what exactly is going on, but it kind of seems like the captain, this is just a way out there theory. I have nothing to base this on. It seems like Culver got a text like a week ago.
Okay.
Saying like, hey, we'd love to have you, but we already found a stew. Mm-hmm. And he's just being a big baby and he doesn't want to tell Jamie. But that is completely out there. I barely stand by that.
Yeah, and
that's just my feelings.
I can't remember exactly what the captain asked Culver in the first place. Like, hey, can you find me? Did the captain like say, can you find me a stew? Because you might be right. Maybe he doesn't want... My other theory is that Culver was like, hey, can me and my girlfriend come on the boat? And the captain's like, ooh, I don't know if I want that drama. I don't know.
That's probably more realistic that... He said that, and then he's like, oh, I could probably find someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something going on there that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Culver, as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they tell us something because, well, obviously at the end of these, we'll see what happens with Jamie and Luca, but we'll see if they give us any answers on that. But I thought that was a good question because they don't really give us any answers in these episodes.
Yeah, they kind of leave us in the dark a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay, your turn.
Do you think, and the wording is, pay attention to the wording. Do you think Aisha should be at fault for not telling the guests about drinking alcohol before scuba diving?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because they clearly asked her. I love Aisha, and I will defend her till the death. But they clearly said, is it okay if we have a drink? And she's like, yeah, go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, it's hard to make a case for the other side of it. But what my thinking was, she's not a deckhand. She is just the chief stew. Mm-hmm. She does have certifications in diving. She knows the law behind diving, I'm assuming. So, like, that's on her.
Yeah.
But there's, like, a little sprinkle of, like, why would you ask a stew that? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I can give a little like
a little tiny bit, yeah.
But yeah, she should have known that. Captain said the same thing, and Aisha even said the same thing.
I guess like
she owned up to it.
My argument is like between like they know she's a chief stew, they don't know that she's certified in diving.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I think as a guest, I wouldn't have like sought out a second opinion. I would have just said, hey, I'm going to ask the chief stew. She should have enough experience, even if she's not a diver. If she's a chief stew, she's been on boats.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think there's an argument. As much as I love Aisha, I don't think there's an argument for her not at fault there.
Yeah, sorry, Aisha, I tried.
Okay, so do you have main points, or do you want me to read mine off?
I will follow your...
Okay, that's what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a hard time, like I said, coming up with 3, because this first episode 16, is hard. Again, it's like kind of all over the place. So I have the drama with Joao and Zarina, which comes into play a little bit more in the second episode 17.
Yeah.
But we'll see a little bit of it in this episode. I have Aisha's mess up with the drinking before diving. And then I have the Stepford Wives charter, which is obviously episode 17. So anyways, we'll just kind of briefly go over episode 16.
Yeah, I might as well.
We start with the horny middle-aged women, and they're sort of fighting again.
Yeah, they're like fighting, but like harassing at the same
They're
time.
fighting about harassing versus not harassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the guys are doing their... Wait, was it when they were doing their Magic Mike thing? Or was that later?
It was...
Oh, God, so they did it twice.
Yeah, basically. I don't know how much of a difference there was between the two. And it was all kind of confusing.
It was.
It was basically the same thing twice, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then the one primary is like, we're harassing them or we're like objectifying them. And I have in parentheses, like, she kind of has a point.
Yeah.
Because if the roles were reversed, if it was a group of men with the girls,
yeah,
that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I kind of had the same thought, but it's different, and I don't know why.
Well,
you know?
Society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, yeah.
Yeah. I know. At first, I was like, oh my God, come on. Are you fighting again? Why are you fighting again? And then like, well, she kind of has a point, though. Like, yeah, you couldn't have a group of men be like, hey, can all the women come out in bikinis?
Yeah.
I don't think they would allow that.
Well, I mean, they could ask. They're not going to say yes, but...
I mean, that's a good question, I guess. Is it? Would that... I just don't... Yeah, I don't think that would be allowed.
I think it would be allowed on a chartered yacht that wasn't on television.
Right? That's true. That's very, very true. Maybe it's just because this one's on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. And then the one of the guests is in the bridge, and Joao follows her up there, and then like completely ditches Captain.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was really funny.
And then he got the helmet because of it.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Captain's like, Joao, you want to be a captain. Yeah, something like, then you have to learn to handle those, or I don't know. It left me high and dry.
Yeah, he really did. That was not a bro move.
Yeah. So then it's the next morning, and then what we were just talking about with the guests are going diving, and they're having breakfast, and they ask specifically, like, can we have a drink before we go diving? And Aisha's like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, again, these charter guests have been difficult, to say the least, but I'm with them on this. I would have been mad. Because I can see that being me. Like, I can see me being like, I'll have a mimosa, knowing I'm not going to get drunk, knowing I'll still be completely fine. But then I'd get there, and I'd be like, yeah, I had a mimosa.
The thing is, and I didn't think about this until now.
Okay.
I am not a diver. The only thing I know about diving is from watching a YouTube channel called Dive Talk. Shout out them. Great YouTube channel.
What about Jonathan's Big Blue World?
Jonathan's Big Blue World is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I won't even call it a YouTube channel.
No.
It's a masterpiece. What was my point?
I don't know. Learned things.
Certifications. Diving certifications. I don't know how it is in Australia, but if you're diving, I think you got to go through some training, and I'm sure the training would tell you can't legally do it if you've had any drinks.
I know, I have a question about that too, because we saw earlier in the season how some of the crew went diving, but only a few of them, because they only they were the only ones that had their certification.
Yeah.
So was this a different kind of diving where they could have just gotten the quick rundown and been able to dive? Like, I guess that's a good question too. But what I'm saying is me being me, not knowing, like most people wouldn't know, I would have had a mimosa.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad at, well, I guess I can't use me as an example because you wouldn't catch me diving.
Yeah, I might.
I would just snorkel and freak out while snorkeling.
Yeah, and I know, like, in America, you can't put on the equipment without some type of certification, but I don't know how it is in Australia.
I know. Yeah, that's a good question. Hey, if anybody is watching this and they know, like, if there's a difference between countries or what the difference is between, like, when the crew went and dove and only the people that had the certifications could go versus this, because this seemed like if all of them weren't drinking, all of them would have gotten to dive. Maybe they all had diving certifications, but I doubt that because they drank. So yeah, I don't know. So if anybody knows, let us know, but it doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
I mean, it could have been like, all right, we're going to make this part drama because there's not much going on right now. And then once you guys freak out a little bit, we'll let you dive.
Right.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. So anyway, that was that. Then Captain has to have dinner with them to make up for the mess up, which is kind of hilarious anyways, because he really didn't want to have dinner with them.
No, he took 2 big grenades that day, or that charter.
I know. Oh, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to keep talking shit about them, but they were pretty difficult.
Oh, yeah.
They get back from the diving, snorkeling thing. They didn't get, like, super mad about not getting, thank God they were able to snorkel, I guess, because I think if they weren't able to do anything, they would have been more mad.
Yeah.
And then they take him out to that little private island. What is it? Vlasov Key or something? It's like VL something.
W.
Yeah.
Q.
And they play big beer pong.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I'm jealous.
Right.
That looked so fun.
That looked really fun.
I know. I would love to go out to that little island.
Yeah, like just getting drunk and playing drinking games on
in the
your
middle of
private
the
island.
ocean.
In the middle of the ocean, like, yeah, you know, if the tender doesn't work, we're gonna have to swim back. But you know,
Whatever.
I'll worry about that later.
God, you're right.
Sharks in Australia.
Dang, I wonder if my anxiety would let me enjoy it.
I think knowing you after like 3 or 4 drinks, you'd be like, woo.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even take that. Probably just take one good drink. So yeah, that was good. And then we kind of get the vibe that Jamie's feeling Luca because they were on the island together.
I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt that like they're showing them taking pictures together.
Right.
But if you follow any of the crew on Instagram, they take pictures with everybody and
Yes.
post everything.
Well, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt too, because like they followed each other on Instagram and stuff, and they were trying to make it this thing. But then there was the preview for the finale, and
Yeah.
if they wouldn't have shown us that, we could have still been like, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah.
You can just tell too. Like we'll get into this like when they're on their crew night out or whatever. But like, Jamie just confuses me. Because she'll go from calling Culver a big baby to then going into the dumpster to do it and sleep in the dumpster.
Yeah, what the hell was that? I guess we'll get to it later.
I know.
But what the hell was that?
I know, I don't get it. And she makes a comment like, I doubt he lives at home with his mom. And I was like, Jamie, don't be too sure. He
you don't
comes
know.
off like he might live with his mom.
He's a mama's boy for sure.
Luca?
Yeah.
Yeah, he while he doesn't give off the same exact vibe as Culver, like he seems a little bit more knowledgeable on boats and stuff, obviously. He definitely gives off the vibe that he really doesn't have a home and he's a traveler, but then goes and lives with his parents like Culver does.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Which I would do it too. I'm not even talking shit about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We're actually in our parents' house right now. We both live here.
I wish, honestly.
Seriously.
If I wasn't married, I'd still live with my parents.
Yeah.
I have no shame in that. Like, I would be saving so much money. I would travel so many places. I could go anywhere I want.
Yeah. I like to have the freedom to like blast music at like 2 a.m.
Yeah. You were always more like that than me.
Yeah. Yeah, you would live at home if you weren't married.
Oh, for sure.
As soon as I graduated college, I moved out.
Yeah.
But just because I like having my own space.
Yep. So, anyways, when I heard that, I was like, I don't know, Jamie. Don't be too sure. You should ask. He might live with his mom.
You don't know too much about him. Just relax. He's got a butterfly in his chest.
Oh, my God.
Just unpredictable.
Oh, my God. Do you think he regrets the That would have been a good question.
Oh, yeah. That
Do you think Luca... Oh, dang it. No, we can't ask it, obviously, but we can ask it now. Do we think Luca regrets the butterfly on his chest?
I genuinely don't understand much.
Things. Period. End of sentence.
Like your tattoos, they all have a meaning for you. And I guess I don't know the meaning of other people's tattoos, so I don't understand it. But I was going to say I don't understand people with like a bunch of tattoos, but I kind of just explained it to myself. So you're welcome.
Are you talking?
I don't even know anymore. I'm going to take a drink of water. Take it away.
Well, yeah, no, I don't, I have a sleeve. I don't know if you guys have seen it on here. Most of the time I'm in long sleeves or whatever, but, I wouldn't say every single tattoo I have has a meaning, but it flows. Like I have a sleeve. And then I have one random on my other arm, which is my dog's face. But I think the butterfly probably has a meaning, but it's just a very odd place to put it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I actually don't. If I had to guess, I would say no. I would say no, he doesn't regret it. Because here's the thing. That's not a tattoo you get on a whim.
True, yeah.
Like nobody's like, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo. I think I'm going to get a huge butterfly on my chest.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that he doesn't.
You get them in places that like you can cover up with a shirt.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have any tattoos, so I don't really know.
Well, I guess I'm just like putting myself in like if you're like drunk and you're like, I want a tattoo. Like you're not like, I have the perfect thing. A giant butterfly on my chest.
Yeah.
You don't just come up with that randomly. So.
Well, I mean, it sounds kind of random.
But then I'd be like, if you wanted the, like, let's say the butterfly per se, you could be like, I'll put it on my arm, put it on my leg.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
They have the neon party, the Magic Mike performance. I posted that on our TikTok literally just because of my husband laughing. It was hilarious.
I watched that like 5 times.
I know.
Brad was loving it.
Somebody commented on the YouTube short and was like, Australian TV looks wild. And then I was like, wait, this is technically Australian TV.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know for sure. I know it plays in Australia, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm actually really excited. We'll get to this at the end. Obviously, like Med is coming up, and I'm really excited to see like if more people will watch Med. I think that Med is like more popular than Down Under.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see like if we have more people watching us because of that. Like I'm more excited for Med. I'll just say that right now.
Yeah.
Like I like Down Under. I like Captain Jason. I like Aisha. But Med is just an established series.
I mean, they have a ton more seasons. I don't know why
Yes.
I keep touching my nose. Yeah, they have a ton more seasons.
Why do you keep calling yourself out for it?
I don't know.
I got told I was picking my toenails the other day, so
Yeah.
now you're going to get... I can't wait for you to get stuff like that.
I can't handle it. No, I can.
He can handle it more than me.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget. So, I don't know if I just got distracted or what happened,
Oh, no.
but there was Keith Stone before the Magic Mike stuff.
Yep.
And then there was no more Keith Stone.
Um,
He wasn't dressed as it when they were dancing or doing all that.
yeah, so I think he did Keith Stone to, like, introduce, and then they all came out in the same, like, they come out in the budgies with, what were they wearing? Like, just bow ties?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he did that so he could match all the other guys. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
That was weird.
But yeah, that's true. I didn't pick up on that, but that makes more sense. They made this like dance, this choreographed dance, and it literally lasted 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It was literally like a turn. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Really threw that one together. Whatever, they ate it up. Those ladies, whew, they would have taken anything.
Oh, yeah.
And did you notice? It was funny because that was when Captain Jason ate dinner with them. He's like, gotta go. Like, he did not stick around because he's like, I know what they're going to do to me. He's like, I gotta go.
He says something like, I'm just glad I left there with my shirt still on, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. God. So yeah, there was that. Serena talked to Aisha about her communication because Aisha was just kind of like a little off with, of course, the mimosas. And then, wait, maybe, is this note like out of order? I feel like this was until later. Am I out of order?
No, I think it was this dinner. Yeah. Yeah, it's like one of my next notes. Okay. But it was the breakfast was the first miscommunication.
Okay.
And then the second one was at dinner. And I can't remember what she screwed up.
There was something, yeah, but it was one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? The least dramatic encounter between a chef and a chief stew that I think I've ever seen on Below Deck.
That I've ever seen on Below Deck.
Because they're friends, but like not only like I've seen like Ben and Kate, for example, when they were friends on Below Deck, they were just at each other's throats all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like Serena's like, yeah, I'm gonna call you out for this, and Aisha's like, okay, yep, I see what you mean.
Yeah, basically just like, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. I was like, wow, like that's how mature adults handle things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I bet the producers are like, what the hell?
Right, you guys see how this episode, I feel like we're jumping all over the place, but this is how this episode went. It was just like, boom, 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 like, not that dramatic. So, Joao gets the helmet. We talked about that because of the bridge thing, which it's funny because Aisha really probably deserved the helmet, but she had already gotten it.
I thought the same thing, yeah.
Which I like it because Captain Jason wants to like at least, he doesn't want to like repeat unless he absolutely has to.
Yeah, and he wants to keep it light.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm actually glad he gave it to Joao. And then we get to kind of where the drama starts because this is where like episode 16's ending, where Margot approaches Aisha about wanting to be on service. And this was our question, I think, last week. She approaches Aisha about being on service. Aisha says yes, which we can discuss. Okay, let's discuss. If you were Aisha, would you have said yes? Did we talked about this last week, but I can't remember what we had said.
And yeah, we have more information now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have answered right away.
I don't think I would have either.
I would have been like, let me take the night. I'll tell you tomorrow. And I probably would have talked with Jamie as well.
Yep. I think that's exactly what I would have done too. That's my only critique for Aisha was that I was like, wow, she kind of just jumped right in there and said yes. I think it was because she was a little bit treating Margot more like a friend than an employee and taking into account what Margot's been through this charter or this season.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think I would have been like, that's a fair question. Let me get back to you in the morning. And Margot would have been totally fine with that. And then at least you would have had a conversation with Jamie. Like, hey, Jamie, this is what I'm going to do. Not so much asking like, Jamie, are you okay with this? Because you shouldn't ask that as a supervisor. But you should be like, hey, Jamie, this is what I'm going to do. This is my reasoning. I appreciate you. I think just the way it went down is why Jamie was upset.
Yeah, and even she could have kept Jamie in the discussion.
Right.
Like, let's all three talk about it. And Aisha could have still had, like, this is what I'm going to do. But at least she kept Jamie in the loop rather than, like... And Jamie was a little dramatic about it. She was. Opinion.
Well, I think she was also offended by like Harry because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah, Harry was basically like, well, I think Margot's she deserves it after like what she's shown, and basically everybody was like, Harry, it doesn't really work like that, you know, like.
Yeah. I don't know how many half drunk guys who said something stupid.
Right, but then girls get offended and upset, and that's valid.
That's usually what happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but they work it all out. We are now at the beginning of episode 17. Thank God we're not going to be jumping around as much. Everyone talks it out. Everybody's fine. Margot's upset because she thought, Jamie was upset at her, and it all gets figured out. So Margot is going to do service. Jamie was like, yep, because I love Margot, like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, she's like...
Anybody else, I wouldn't have been.
Yeah, she's like, anybody else, I would have been like, that bitch.
Right, same. I put myself in Jamie's shoes. Like, I get it. Jamie's been a chief stew on big boats. She's great at service. I mean, she's arguably, like, the best at decor we've seen. Like, when she, do you know what decor means?
I do. I'm trying to think of the other... Don't insult me.
I know what it means.
She's going to be on the next season of Med. The chief stew in next season of Med.
Toomey. Ooh, you're right. Toomey was really good at it, too. Toomey had, like, an Instagram about it. Like,
yeah, that's how she got her job on the boats.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, maybe I'll, like, take that back once we start watching Med. I'm so excited for Med.
Yeah, me too.
So then Culver and Joao have, like, a little bit of, like, a disagreement during that too. Like, Culver's... I honestly don't know what Joao is trying to prove by being like, yeah, it's kind of the same situation. Like, Culver tried to be lead deckhand, fucked it up, and then he got demoted. Like, that's not the same, Joao.
Well, that's not even really what happened.
No.
Like, it wasn't like Captain Jason said, okay, prove yourself on this charter and maybe I won't hire someone.
Right.
It was more of like, you're the most qualified to do this for 6 hours until we get another guy on the boat.
Right.
And now it's this whole big thing.
It was just Joao wanting to point out that Culver's not good at his job.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of glad they, like, glossed over it, because I was, like, not into them having that disagreement again.
I know, I was kind of over it too.
Yeah, so... Okay. And then we didn't say this in the last episode, but Joao asks Serena on a date, which actually maybe he did that last week, and it's just been leading up to it.
I think it was in the, like,
episode.
Next week on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been in episode 15. Okay, let's get into this date. I have some feelings.
Yeah. That was... I feel heard.
You feel heard?
Yeah, because I haven't liked Joao all season.
And you're saying, okay, keep going.
And I feel like my opinion is valid now.
You do?
Yeah, Joao freaked out on her.
No, he did not.
He kind of did.
Oh my God. Okay, no, he did not. I said, okay, so their date goes, I said back, but I meant bad. The date goes bad because she's so hung up on who he used to be. She isn't even giving him a chance to prove himself. Her walls are up. She keeps saying that. But she's not even kind of like explaining of like what he can do to change her mind. So she's being very like cold. And I'm not going to say I'm like 100% Joao in this scenario, but like she's telling him that, like, my walls are up. Let's just be casual. He's basically saying, like, that's not what I want. Like, I like you. This is why I asked you out on a date, whatever. And then she calls him fake, and that's what makes him, like, upset, which you'd be mad, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you were on a date with a girl you'd already hooked up with, had been spending so much time with, like, we're basically acting like you're dating on the boat, like, kissing and whatever on the boat. And then you take her out on a date, and she's like... my walls are up. And he's like, well, what do you believe negatively about me based on you? Because here's what she's doing. She's letting everybody else, which, well, I shouldn't say that. She does have some experience with him from her friend, and she did know him. But like, I just don't think it's fair to like say, I knew you 2 years ago. I know you now. I'm not who I was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So... but then what really made me mad was he's trying to kind of defend himself, and she's like, why are you screaming at me? And that like goes right through me too. Like when somebody,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a pet peeve of mine. Not that it happens a lot because I don't scream at people, but when somebody's like, can you stop coming at me when I'm just having a conversation? Ooh, it just sets me, that would have set me off. He had more restraint than I would have been. I would have been like, do you want to see yelling? Because this isn't it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think I should have phrased that better. I don't think he like was screaming at her, yelling at her or anything, but it did seem like it was just a little hint of the old toxic Joao came out.
And I guess I can't remember exactly what he said, but I never got that vibe.
I got it for a split second, and I'm like, that monster's still in there.
Yeah, well, I might be proven completely wrong next week with the preview.
One of us is going to be. Who knows?
Yeah, one of us is going down next week.
Yeah.
But I never got that vibe. I got the vibe of him being like, what can I even do? Like, you've basically already got your mind made up. And I think he was thrown off, which he says he was like really thrown off because, again, they had hooked up, they were connecting. Like, he came to her rescue when she was like, not rescue, that's the wrong word. He was
when
like,
she was drowning.
maybe. But when she was upset about Culver, you know, he was there for her. And
yeah,
I don't know, I just feel like he's done a lot to prove himself. And what does he have out of wanting to build a relationship with her, knowing that the charter's over in like 2 days?
True.
You know, like
Yeah.
he wouldn't have asked her out on a date if he was like, yeah, let's just hook up for the boat and then we'll go our separate ways.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have a valid argument in my mind.
It could go either way. I don't know. I just don't trust anyone anymore.
I know, it's hard.
It could be like
I'm really fighting for him, but I could be like completely eating my words next week.
it could be like he wants to prove to himself or whoever that, oh, I'm changed, but he's not actually changed, or he is actually changed and he's been working really hard to prove that he's changed, and then she drops that bomb on him and he gets a little angry, which you're allowed to get a little bit angry. I don't know.
I just never got that vibe. Like, I deal with a lot of people, and I just never got the vibe that he was getting out of control. And she's like, this is the Joao I know. Come at me. Give it to me. And I'm just like, bro, you are just like, ugh. It made me so mad. I love Zarina. I've loved her on this season, but she really made me mad there because I was like, he's not yelling. He's trying to defend himself. You're kind of, not instigating, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like poking the bear? Or
Yeah, kind of like leading him.
Yes, like leading him to get mad. And so, I don't know, that just made me mad. I wanted to know your thoughts on it. It's interesting.
I mean, it could also be, and I don't think this is what this was, but it would have been a smart move, is to, push him, not for like days at a time, but, a conversation, just to see if he still has that like anger inside of him and that like toxic part of him, I don't think that's what this was, but yeah, I don't know, because, and I think that was my initial reaction, but then seeing like Joao not starting any drama or anything, just not really wanting to be around her, I'm like, that's a pretty good reaction for that.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. And we can move on. But the other thing too is like pushing him to see if he's that person. If he is still that person, you would have seen it on Nights Out. Like, you don't need to push him at dinner to see that person. That's not where you're going to see that person. You're going to see that person on a night out. Maybe when you're like, do you keep hearing that clicking?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I keep looking at you like it's you, but it's not. Oh.
Yeah, it's my chair.
It's Lane. Lane's the one. Because I was like, is there an animal in here? Did we leave a cat in here? But I was like, no, we kicked them all out.
No, it's my chair.
Hitting the closet.
Yeah.
Well, just don't lean that way. Stop moving. Stop it. Anyways, it goes back to the other, everybody else is at dinner. Harry is still bothered that Culver won't pay a bill.
And I would be too. I would not be happy at this point. Because he's being a little baby about it.
Stop it.
I am barely moving. There we go. I'll just hold this. Actually, I can do it like this.
We'll just blame Brad because he's the one that put the chair back. We'll have to move it
I don't
when we're
want to
done.
blame Brad. He set everything up.
I know. I'm not that I'm in the business of defending Culver, but Luca did grab the bill, and Luca probably hasn't paid one, but Luca hasn't been on the boat for the whole season like Culver has.
Yeah, and it's not like you break it, you buy it. Someone picks up the bill and you're like, hey, I got it. And if they say no, it's no longer your problem.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just funny because Harry literally said like the exact same thing he said the last dinner.
I think they just copied and pasted.
They did, yeah.
I think they did.
So then when Zarina and Joao get to the other group that night, then Zarina's changing her tone. And she's like, I fought with him. What'd she say? Like, I basically said she told Jamie she was instigating the fight with Joao. And I'm on, like, if we want to, like, wrap up this thing with the Joao and Zarina, basically, like, that night, she gets into his bed. He's like, I'm going to bed. And I was like, I would have done the same thing. Like, I'm not going to, like, what? Like, you just told me you, like, basically don't like me.
You know, I'm going to change my original statement. And
Have I convinced you?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I think what it was that was the night where one of them decided to figure out, am I actually going to date this person, or is this just been a fling?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really never a fun conversation. Sometimes it is, but usually it's not.
Right.
Especially in a weird situation like this. And I think we just saw the worst of it. I think it was a longer conversation where they just picked out the worst parts and made a narrative.
I also think that Zarina is a little bit self-conscious. Like, her walls are up. It's a defense mechanism. Because we'll also see towards the end of this episode with this next charter how she, with the hibachi and things like that, like, she wants Keith Stone there because, like, Captain is like, because she doesn't want the spotlight on her. Like, so I think she deals with a little bit of that too. Like, that's just what I see. I don't know. So yeah. So they don't hook up. Then that next day, he can't get over that she called him fake. She's trying to apologize because she, like, misses him being around, like, in the galley. And he's just kind of like, I don't know. And that's kind of where we left it for this week.
Pretty much, yeah. She's, I think the correct term would be she's overcorrecting.
Yeah.
And he's not fully over it.
Yep. Or she's just trying to correct.
Yeah, because she's like, do you still love me?
And he's like, love's a strong word.
Yeah.
And I hate that too. Ugh, like, I'm a fan of Zarina, but she's saying a lot of things that, like, just go right through me when it comes to, like, females and, you know, the whole, like, stop yelling at me. Like, or do you still love me? Like, no. Why would I?
Like, I never did in the first place.
I don't know.
In that regard, but.
So yeah, then like we said, they all go back to the boat and Culver literally takes Jamie to the trash storage, and I have in capital letters, and she goes.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I have no words.
It makes zero sense. It makes absolutely no sense. There are no guests on board.
Right.
They are allowed to go into guest cabins. It's not like it's two, why can't I think of the word? Deck crew.
Yeah.
I kept thinking deck mates for some reason. It's not like it's two deck crew where, like, they don't know how to clean the cabin the next day.
Right. I don't know. So I've seen this in other.
And she's carrying pillows and a blanket.
Yeah, they slept down there.
They slept down there?
Yes.
I thought they just hooked up.
No, they slept down there because the next morning Margot asks her, like, where'd you end up sleeping? And she tells her, and she's like, what?
I thought they just hooked up.
So did I, until I watched the second time.
What the
hell? I know. So gross. That's why I say Jamie confuses me. Because I'm like, she goes from calling Culver like a man-child because he won't pay the bill or whatever, making fun of him because he lives with his mom, to hooking up with him in a garbage can.
What the fuck?
I know. It doesn't make any sense. So that happens. And I think that's about it for the night out. Do you have anything left before we get into the last charter?
I'm still thrown off by the whole Culver and the dumpster thing.
Do you need some time to process?
I lived in a fraternity house for 3 years, and I wouldn't do that.
I
wouldn't go anywhere near that.
Well,
Okay.
your fraternity house was kind of just a big dumpster.
It was kind of a big dumpster, okay.
It was a big dumpster.
But I cleaned my sheets sometimes.
Oh my God.
When I came home.
Oh my gosh. So here's a story about Lane that he didn't even remember from college. I don't know why I remember this. It's not that bad. It's like a really short story that I told you not too long ago, and you're like, what? I don't remember that. My grandma and grandpa always made spaghetti, and we really liked it up until, they passed basically as kids, and as adults, I still eat it. But grandma and grandpa sent Lane with spaghetti back to college. And you told me that you had accidentally dropped it behind your desk, but you didn't realize you did. And then you found it months later.
Yeah.
You remember that now?
Nah, yeah. Yeah, I was like, where the hell did that go? And then I found it months and months later.
Oh my God, and you didn't smell it?
No, the whole house smelled like shit.
That's true. This is only proving our point. The whole house was a dumpster. So they didn't smell rotting spaghetti behind Lane's desk for months.
Yeah.
That's how clean this house was.
I was like the second or third cleanest room, too.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of what else. The bathrooms, the downstairs bathrooms at the first frat house were...
Oh, yeah.
The worst... When I say I've seen a lot of bathrooms, I've been in a lot of bathrooms. I've been in a lot of bad bar bathrooms. This bathroom was the worst I've ever seen. It was like a high school bathroom. It had the stalls and stuff.
Oh, it was worse than that.
But that's how it was set up. It wasn't just a single bathroom. It had 2 or 3 toilets.
It was 2 toilets separated by plywood. And neither of the doors locked. And every other weekend, someone would rip the door down. And then 2 months later, we'd screw it back in.
Yep. So that was that. They had a guy fall off their fire escape once.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought I was going to jail. That was awesome.
All that to say that Lane's been through that. And he wouldn't hook up in the garbage room of a boat.
I wouldn't do it.
Wow. Yeah. So that's saying something.
Really called me out there. Jeez.
I just wanted to really
encapsulate.
Make the point. Yeah. He's not just saying this. Listen to where he used to live. God.
He survived this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. There's no way. So then let's move on to the next charter. The next morning they have the last charter. This is a short charter where the guests come on board, they stay one night, and then they leave the next day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is I was just thinking, I was I wonder what the price difference is there. I wonder if I could afford that. Oh, but I'm manifesting that.
Yeah.
I won't have to. That something will happen where I will get on one of these boats. But anyways, it's a marijuana executive, cannabis executive. I don't know if there's a difference there.
There's not.
Well, they said cannabis, so I don't want to get in trouble, but
we're going to get in trouble for something.
Yeah, I know. The Stepford Wives Charter is what I'm calling it because that's what Margot said, and it is so true. Do you know what the Stepford Wives are?
No.
So, I think it was either a movie or a TV show where it's basically these robotic women all live in the perfect cul-de-sac, have the perfect houses, the perfect families, the perfect husband, perfect hair, perfect makeup, everything's perfect. Because that's exactly what these guests are saying. We all live in the same neighborhood. We've been friends forever. Our husbands are best friends. Everything's great. And Margot's I don't buy it.
Yeah. They're all of our kids are best friends. All of our god kids. We all have godchildren. It's no. I'm going to hear an episode about you on Crime Junkie in 2 years.
Oh my God, I know. Or just the ID channel.
Yeah, there's no way that amount of people all love each other and have zero problems with each other.
No way. Or, okay, this is going to sound really bad. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
I can take it out.
I was gonna say,
let it rip.
or their husbands just cheat on them every weekend, and they like it's like that kind of like everything's perfect, the family's perfect, but like their husbands are like cheating on them and they know, but they're like ignoring it.
Or the wives do, if you want to be fair.
That's true.
Or everyone does.
Or everyone does, or they're all swingers.
Or every third kid they eat.
Oh my God. That went far.
You took it up high, and I'm like,
I didn't take it up high.
Go
Swingers
harder.
is like,
we're doing bad cop, right? I just saw what you were doing. I was like, wow, I really got some work to do.
No. I'm sorry. I think swingers is outdated. What's the term? Open relationships.
Yeah.
That is way more common than you know.
Yeah.
Like, just, yeah.
Craigslist, man.
Craigslist. No. Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm so outdated with like dating apps. Like, back when I was using dating apps, it was Tinder. Is Tinder still a thing?
Yeah, but there's like a bunch now where like Tinder is you use to hook up. Hinge is like I might want to date someone, and then
Okay.
I don't know the other ones, but there's a
Bumble?
shitload.
What's Bumble?
Bumble is for, well, like the girl talks first.
Okay.
So like scared guys and girls that want the first word, I guess.
So you're on that one?
No.
You're not a scared guy?
What? What the hell?
That was the joke I was making. You didn't catch on to it.
I did. But I got offended.
Whatever.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not on Bumble.
Oh, you should be.
I don't have enough storage on my phone.
I have an iPhone 5. That's actually true. That's not even
It's
a joke,
an iPhone
guys.
8, okay?
Oh my God. Where were we? Okay, this
I don't know.
charter.
This went off the rails.
Basically, the only big thing that happens here is that Jamie
That you
fucks
think
up.
I'm a scared guy.
Well, that Jamie fucks up that guest's dress.
Yeah.
Which I feel so bad for Jamie because this has happened before. It's been on another season where somebody's fucked up a dress or something, fucked up something.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I get where she's coming from. It's like the steamer is in the iron. What's she supposed to do with that? Because I have a steamer that's not an iron, so that could never happen because it's just like water coming out of a thing. But when you have hot metal on an iron, that can happen. Mm-hmm. Basically, the moral of the story is they should have a better steamer.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because she's freaking out about telling the guest, and the guest is like, "It's fine," and then she goes to talk shit about her in her room.
I know. I immediately, I have it written down somewhere, but it was like the most Midwestern thing I've ever seen. I know
really
they're not
was.
from the Midwest.
Are they not? Where are they from?
California.
California. Yep, that's what it was.
But it's like, no, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Like, don't worry about it.
I'm just going to go cry in my room.
Yeah, and then you either go cry in your room or you complain about it to your friend. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? They fucking burnt my dress.
But it was hilarious, too, because it was actually her friend that was like, if she fucks my dress up, I'll kill her. And then I was like, I guarantee if that happened to you, you'd do the same thing.
You do the same thing because you're perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, if she messed my dress up, I would kill her. Whereas if it happened to her, she'd be like, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'd make anything look good.
It was only like $6,000, but it's fine.
Oh my God. Oh, and then the last thing, and this kind of goes into the next episode is they call it teppanyaki. I've always known it as hibachi.
Yeah.
I think they're the same thing.
I think they're the same thing. I think the word that they use is like fancier.
Yeah, maybe.
So who knows?
These guests request that. Zarina's not trained in that, as I think most chefs aren't. I think that's a very specialized thing.
It is, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't think I would request that on a super yacht. I think I'd go to a hibachi restaurant for that.
Yeah, it'd be like, drop me off at one on land.
Drop me off at, what's the big one? Oh, I should know this.
It's
not Flat Top, but I know Flat Top is one of them. Flat Top Grill.
Like the restaurant, or
yeah.
what are you cooking on? Oh, Tommy Bahama. No, not Tommy Bahama.
That's a clothing store.
I was close. It's basically the same thing.
Wait, what is it? It's gonna drive me crazy.
It's close to Tommy Bahama.
Benihana.
I see. That's pretty close.
I know. Without you saying Tommy Bahama, I wouldn't have gotten Benihana.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Benny fucking Hama. It's from Wolf of Wall Street.
Benihana, not Hama.
That's what you think.
That's what I said.
That's
not what I said. So she doesn't want to do it. She wants Culver to do Keith Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Captain shoots it down, which I'm kind of with Captain on that. I don't think Keith Stone fits.
No.
Which, I don't know. Sometimes those hibachi chefs are kind of silly.
Yeah, but I think they read the room.
Yeah. And these people I don't know that they would enjoy a Keith Stone. So anyways, I don't think Captain's wrong in saying that. But then Serena's like, I'm not doing it. And it's like, drama, episode ends.
Yeah, and thinking about it now, I don't think she needed to do the, like, shrimp in the pocket. I don't think she needed to do all these tricks.
Yeah.
They might have been disappointed, but, like, what do you want from one chef on a boat?
Well, that's a good point. They wanted the onion volcano.
Yeah.
Which is like, are you two?
Yeah. But I don't think it's that difficult. I've
Yeah.
never done it, so I don't know. But
All
I
you
saw
gotta do
it
is
on
like
TikTok.
ding the little things around and be like, ha, and then flip it and be like,
Yeah, most of it is just like hitting the spatula on
Yeah.
the grill, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's making noise." That's crazy.
Because they're toddlers, like, yay,
Yeah.
yay.
You
I know.
just flick a shrimp at him, you're good to go.
Throw a whole egg at them. That's how this works. They'll be like, what the heck? Like, you've never been to a hibachi? You get a
Oh, I
whole
bet
egg.
you've been to the cheap ones, haven't you? And they're
I've-
like, "No, I
I've been
love
to
raw egg
Benihana."
on my forehead." And just trick him into it.
Oh my god. See, that's, again, I would never ask for that because even when I love hibachi, don't get me wrong, but I can do without the show. They could just
Yeah.
give it to me. I just like the food.
I literally, and I know we say this like every other episode, all I would say was, not a big fan of avocado.
Mm-hmm.
Give me whatever the chef is the very best at.
Right. Why wouldn't you do that?
Why wouldn't you do that?
I know. I'm with you. No mushrooms, though. No mushrooms.
Yeah. And no onion.
Yeah. I would eat an onion before I ate a mushroom. I said this before.
Yeah, I think we've said this like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, whatever.
But let's go into the next week on Below Deck Down Under.
Okay. What do we got?
Was that Margot making out with Joao?
I think so.
I know it was Joao because that stupid ass haircut.
And it was definitely
And it was definitely Margot.
I know. Which is interesting because if you look at like TikTok and Instagram,
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Margot and Zarina are like best friends.
They've been hanging out for like 2 weeks.
I know.
And Harry's there now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was really confused earlier actually because I was on Instagram and I saw all 3 of them took a picture and then the caption was like, "Love these ladies." And I was like, I didn't realize it was Harry. I didn't think I followed Harry and I was like really confused because I thought like Margot posted it. I was like, that's Harry. What? Am I missing something? But yeah, they're in like Miami.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So
they did the whole what is that called? Damn it. With the swimsuits, the Baywatch. Did you see that one?
I didn't see that
They
one.
did like a Baywatch video. It was kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't see that. I just saw the picture. So yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, we'll just have to see. A note on kind of like scheduling, going off of that, is the finale's next week. It is only an hour, I think.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I know it's only the finale next week. And I can't imagine, like in my mind, I don't know that there's enough for 2 hours because they're just about done with this charter.
And it's a 1-day charter, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're going to go out and then they're going to leave the boat. So, but I did some research on the reunion and there's been no announcement of a reunion yet.
Okay.
So we will cover the finale next week. Then the week after that is Med, September 25th. There's speculation that the reunion could be aired before Med premieres that day, but not for sure. So our schedule as of right now is we're going to recap the finale. we will throw like maybe like a mini episode at you guys, recapping Med, like last season of Med, or maybe even just talking about the crew, what we know about the crew so far.
Yeah, just something.
And then jump right into Med. We don't even get a break.
We also have a bonus episode coming that I don't know where we're going to put it, but it was very fun to record.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't gonna mention it because like Lane's gotta edit it, and he's our editor, so he will be the one to post it. But we'll probably post that on like a Monday or something.
Yeah,
That would be good to break it up because we usually post on Fridays.
yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, but that'd be awesome if you guys check that out because you'll get to learn more about us.
Yeah,
We had a couple drinks, so we're like a little more fun and funny, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
there was a couple times where I'd like start a story and then just kind of forgot what I was talking about.
Yep.
Those might get edited out though, depending on when I rewatch it and how good I feel about it.
Yeah, so as always, thank you for the love. Keep hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. Like, we love seeing that. Keep commenting and reacting on social media. We are always open to suggestions too. Like I've always said, like it's been my goal that we get better every week, and I think we are. But I'm so like critical of myself. So if anybody like has suggestions, like helpful ones, like
Yeah.
not mean ones.
Yeah. Don't be mean.
Go ahead and comment those. What you like, what you don't like. Again, I'm all for constructive criticism, not just like unconstructive criticism, let's say. And we'll see you next week for the finale. And like I said, as of now, there's no official word for the reunion, but if there is a reunion, we will also cover that. So.
Yeah. And I know you just said it, but she absolutely loves comments. Mm-hmm. She loves talking to you guys about things that you caught in the episode or theories that you have, and just anything about it. Drop a comment and she would love to read it and respond and talk to you guys.
Yes.
Not that I wouldn't, but I know she likes it a lot more than I do.
And I don't know if anybody's watching this and they have like a YouTube creator channel. So it shows you all your comments like in order. So if I ever miss your comment, it's probably because there was like 4 comments in a row or something, and it only shows you like 3. So what happens is, which I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to say it, is every comment I respond to, that comment disappears unless you like reply back to me. That leaves me the negative comments because I don't respond to those.
Yeah.
So the more positive comments you guys can give, or again, even like constructive criticism, we can like keep pushing those comments.
Yeah, let's push them all the way down.
Let's push them so I don't have to see them anymore because I'm a sensitive little flower.
And don't go to them with any hate or anything like
Right.
that. There's just haters on the internet. What are you going to do?
Yes. And I'm getting better at that. This is something that this podcast, this YouTube channel is something we're doing for fun.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like not to get like all deep, but like it's a self-growth thing for me too, because I really do struggle with like, I want everybody to love me, but like, I know everybody's not going to. I know everybody's not going to love this podcast, and that's okay. But it's super helpful to hear from the people that do. And I appreciate you guys so much. And that's why I respond to all of you and love to hear your thoughts. Because again, we started this because it's fun, because we like Below Deck, and we want to connect with other people that love Below Deck.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And the other thing too, I was going to say this at the beginning. I know we're kind of rambling now, so if you're still here, great. But I do want to stress this like every so often, is that this is an entertainment, like comedy podcast in a sense.
Yeah.
That we realize like this, even though it's reality TV, it's not full reality. And so I want to like stress that like this is entertainment podcast, and like stress that to like people that listen to like don't take us too seriously.
Yeah, we don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah. We do this because it's fun to recap. It's reality shows are fun. The drama is fun. But we don't take it any too seriously. If I met Culver on the street, I'd be like, hey bro, like what's up? Like we don't like actually not like these people. We just have an opinion.
I mean, we're kind of similar to what they're doing. We're just kind of amping it up a little bit for fun.
Yeah. So just remember that too. Nothing's too serious, and we love you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week for the finale.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.